In my opinion, the New York Jets are the most underrated team in the NFL this season, and today I'm going to work to make them even better. But if you do happen to enjoy today's video, be sure to go down and drop a like and a sub. It takes like 2 seconds. I'm going to shoot for 20 likes on this video, and let's see if we can get to 40 subs. We're only like 3 away, maybe even less by the time this comes out, so be sure to do that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. The Jets front office is working absolute wonders for this team. Robert Saleh and company are completely revamping what was kind of known as the joke of the NFL into being a genuinely solid roster, and coming off of maybe the best draft of this offseason. I mean, the Ravens and the Chiefs had very good drafts, but the Jets were definitely up there. This team is looking up. So let's get into the roster real quick. Now, I will point out the only real question mark for this team. That is Mekhi Becton. There have been rumors that he wants out. I don't know exactly why that is. I don't remember if there was any report on why he wants out, but I just have heard that he does. Now, that could just be the media being bored, honestly, but that is a rumor. I'm not going to trade him in this video. At least I don't think so. But yeah, that's the only real question mark with, well, not the only question mark, but the only question mark of will they be on the team by the start of the season. But speaking of question marks, Zach Wilson, he had a pretty bad rookie season. I don't know how he would have had a good rookie season with this Jets team though. Kind of just thrown into the fire as a rookie, as a pretty raw rookie. And he didn't perform, but he showed flashes, I guess you could say. I would actually argue he has the most upside out of any quarterback in the class last year, more than Trevor Lawrence even. It's just about putting that together. And the Jets are honestly doing a good job of giving him protection and help. This offensive line is much better than it used to be. Obviously, Mekhi Becton, they just signed Laken Tomlinson. Connor McGovern, in my opinion, is an underrated center. Elijah Vera Tucker had a pretty good rookie season. I know the overall doesn't reflect that, but he does have a development trait, and I think he will develop into being our starter for the rebuild. And George Fant was honestly pretty underrated last year. I miss him as a Seahawks fan. Tight end room is deep, but not amazing. They're lacking a true, really good tight end. They just have a few developmental players. And obviously, they drafted Jeremy Ruckert out of Ohio State this last year. I would pull him up, but I can't really get to him right here for some reason. Receivers, obviously, they just drafted Garrett Wilson. In my opinion, the best receiver in the class. I obviously created him. These are kind of just, I don't know, I just gave him stats. And obviously they have Corey Davis. They signed him from the Titans a year ago. He's a pretty underrated receiver in my opinion. And obviously Elijah Moore, one of my favorite rookies of last year's class. One of my favorite wide receiver prospects from that class, I should say. And arguably the best running back from this draft class, Breece Hall. I think he's better than Kenneth Walker personally. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but I think Breece Hall was just the better one. And now they have a really good running back room with Michael Carter, and Tevin Coleman isn't bad, and Ty Johnson isn't a bad player either. They have a pretty good running back room. But let's get over to this defense where they obviously drafted Sauce, Ahmad Gardner. I realized I put his name as Ahmad. I probably should have put Sauce, because that's more what he goes by, but I don't know what they're going to put him as in Madden, so I just did Ahmad to be, I don't know if that's safe, but that's his real name, so I don't know. I did give him a superstar development trait though. I didn't want to give him X Factor. I don't think he is a true X Factor player. I think that's reserved for the true blue chip players, but he does have the potential to be a very, very good player. This defense is a little bit suspect though. I will say a little bit sus. I forgot to give Jermaine Johnson a dev trait, I just realized, but I'll do that after I'm done recording this bit. The cornerback room is looking very nice. The only thing is they have 3 starting caliber outside corners, and it makes me wonder if they're going to move one of them into the slot. If they do, I would bet it's going to be DJ Reed because he is 5'9", but as a Seahawks fan, I already miss him. He was one of my favorite Seahawks last year. I predicted his breakout because he played a couple years ago and looked amazing. Obviously was very underrated this last year, at least in my opinion. The stats back it up and everything. He's an amazing player. The Jets are getting a good one with DJ Reed, and obviously has that solid connection. I mean, Saleh was a 49ers defensive coordinator, obviously, and was on the Seahawks, so DJ Reed also has that Seahawks and 49ers connection. Kind of makes sense. I see what Robert Saleh is doing here, getting a lot of former 49ers players. Bryce Hall is also a very underrated corner, in my opinion. He was their #1 last year and honestly held that role down pretty well for just kind of getting getting thrown into the #1 role. I'm a big Bryce Hall fan, so we'll have to see what they do with their corner lineup. Looking at the D-line here, John Franklin Myers is underrated in my opinion. Obviously, Carl Lawson went down with injury last year. I believe he tore his ACL or Achilles. I think it was ACL. And missed the entire 2021 season. But assuming he stays healthy this year, I think he will be an amazing player. Quinnen Williams, obviously great. They did sign Solomon Thomas, which is interesting. My main questions with this team, though, are these two groups right here. Linebacker and safety. Now, they signed Jordan Whitehead over from the Buccaneers. He is a pretty solid player. I kind of wonder if he just looked better because he was on the Bucs' amazing defense, but I still think he's a good player. Ashton Davis hasn't really panned out for them. Now I'm questioning. Yeah, Ashton Davis. Okay. He hasn't really panned out for them yet, but I did like him coming out. LaMarcus Joyner, underrated player. I don't think he played at all last year. I think he was hurt the entire year. But this linebacker core is kind of disgusting. They have CJ Mosley, but he hasn't really been good since he left Baltimore. I mean, he's been fine for a couple years, but man, ever since he left, he just hasn't really been the same. And obviously, they have a few safeties here. Jamian Sherwood, Amsa Nasiruddin. What's Quincy Williams' build? 225. Was he a safety? I mean, that's a really small linebacker. He might as well be a safety. They just have a lot of small linebackers here. The upside about this is linebacker is like the least important position in the NFL. I mean, look at the Rams last year. They won the Super Bowl. Their linebackers were like Troy Reader and fucking I don't even know who. But I'm spending way too much time on this team. Oh yeah, Ernest Jones, right? That's his name? Yeah, he's actually solid. Anyways, I'm spending way too much time going over this team. I just wanted to show you that this is actually a pretty solid roster. There aren't many holes in this team. The only hole really is linebacker, but that's not a very big hole. They're a pretty solid, pretty deep team. Obviously, also just signing Nate Herbig over from the Eagles is a pretty good one. But without further ado, let's actually get into the rebuild, and I will see you guys at the mid-season point. Okay. Corey Davis just got Garrett Wilson's Superstar X Factor. I kind of want to set that back, but I'm not going to. That's part of the game. I'm gonna leave it. I want to put it back because that's not realistic. Oh god. I feel bad about keeping that though, but I mean, it's part of the game. I guess I'll keep it. What the fuck? Thank you, Corey Davis. Alright, here at the mid-season point of year number 1, we are unfortunately 2-4, but honestly, that's kind of what I expected. Something I realized I didn't point out about this team is they are kind of lacking like a true superstar player. Like when you think of the really good teams in the league, like the Rams, they have players like Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, now Bobby Wagner, Cooper Kupp, as of last year, Andrew Whitworth. And then you think of like the Bucs, they have a ton of good players like Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Tom Brady. Leonard Fournette played well last year. Antoine Winfield, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett. Those are some huge names. This team kinda lacks those players. They do, however, have players that could end up being true, like, amazing players. Like Carl Lawson, Mekhi Becton, Quinnen Williams, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Ahmad Gardner. CJ Mosley has shown that. I guess Jermaine Johnson maybe could. Elijah Vera Tucker. I think what my goal is going to be is getting those huge big-name free agents in this offseason. Because this team is kind of lacking, like, huge-name players. I think it is a very deep, very well-rounded team. I just think it's missing that kind of X factor that a lot of good teams in the NFL have. Like, every good team in the NFL has. You can't not have amazing players. You know what I mean? At least like a couple. But here in negotiations, who do we have? Anyone that I really want to bring back? Not really. I don't even want to bring back Braxton Berrios. That's a lot of money. I can find a player just as good in the draft, probably. I'll re-sign Javelin Guidry just because he's solid. Just to re-sign somebody, but I really don't think I'm going to re-sign anybody else here. And since LaMarcus Joyner is going to be a free agent, I think I'm just going to start Ashton Davis. Why does that sound so unnatural? I guess that's it, though. Alright, here at the end of year number 1, unfortunately we did miss the playoffs, but we did end up going 7-10. Honestly, not as bad as it could have been considering, you know, the team we are. But let's take a look at the season stats, if it'll load. Zach Wilson, not good. 3,600 yards is not very good. 22 touchdowns, that's not really good either. And 17 interceptions, that's a ton. Only 59% completion percentage. That was pretty awful. That's a pretty terrible season, especially for Madden. However, Breece Hall was amazing. 292 carries for 1,212 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, and 10 touchdowns. Michael Carter also stole 8 touchdowns, and Zach Wilson stole 3. And 0 fumbles, I just noticed that. So that is an amazing rookie season. What is his overall? He's up to an 82 overall. That's really good. Breece Hall could end up being a star of this rebuild. Normally, rookie running backs don't do very well in this game. Corey Davis, 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns. That is an amazing season. I wish Garrett Wilson could have had that season because Corey Davis isn't really going to progress much anymore. And speaking of Garrett Wilson, he had a pretty solid rookie season. 830 yards and 4 touchdowns is pretty good for a rookie. I expect him to do honestly better than that in real life, but with that superstar X Factor development, he will develop into a great player. Elijah Moore, 800 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not amazing because of the 2 touchdowns, but not bad because it's 800 yards for our third receiver. Pretty good. In tight ends, CJ Uzomah was starting for the first half of the year, but I benched him for Tyler Conklin because, well, he was playing at a 75 because of morale, and Tyler Conklin is younger, so I just thought I would start him. Looking at the offensive line, it was okay. Our tackles weren't amazing, but other than that, everyone really played well. George Fant was probably the worst one here because normally left tackles let up the most sacks by quite a large amount, a large margin or whatever. So I might be looking to replace George Fant because that wasn't amazing. Tackles, CJ Mosley led the team. Ashton Davis came in second. How? He only started like half the year. How did he get so many goddamn tackles? Was he playing like sub linebacker or something? He might have been actually. That's probably what it was. Yeah. Tackles for loss. Oh my god. 23 from Quinnen Williams, 16 from John Franklin Myers, 12 from Jermaine Johnson, 11 from Carl Lawson. I thought this was going to be like the high amount right here, but I was very wrong. That's like 50 right there. More than 50. Actually, a lot more than 50, like 60 plus, whatever, that's fine. I can't math very well. For sacks, Carl Lawson had 11.5. That's really fucking good. Other than that, though, Quinnen Williams had 6.5, which is definitely solid. John Franklin Myers had 6, which is also solid, I guess. Jermaine Johnson was a little disappointing, though. I forgot to start him for like half the year, but he still was getting snaps, obviously, just not starting snaps. So I moved John Franklin Myers over to defensive tackle in the depth chart, and then put Jermaine Johnson as the starting right end. But honestly, it doesn't look like it worked out that well. I'm hoping he'll develop more later on, but that's not great. For interceptions, we got next to none. We got 6, 7, 8, 9 in total. That is awful. 2 from Ashton Davis, 2 from CJ Mosley, 2 from DJ Reed. That is not great. Greg Zuerlein was amazing, but it's kicker, so who cares? And let me check yearly awards really quick. I don't think we would have won any, but I just want to check out of curiosity. So Tom Brady wins MVP of the 17-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are you kidding me? 17-0. That is insanely rare in this game. I can't tell you that I've ever seen that in this game. That's wild. Russell Wilson now in the Denver Broncos gets 3rd. That's disgusting. Jalen Hurts, wow. But what team are we? Why do I always forget what team I am? We are the New York Jets. That's what team we are. So no Jets. And let's check Offensive Player of the Year. No Jets. I saw Kenny Pickett in there. Defensive Player of the Year. No Jets. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Breece Hall comes in at number 5. Also, I'm sorry if I've been calling him Bryce Hall. They also do have Bryce Hall and Breece Hall. And then they have Quincy Williams and Quinnen Williams. And then they have Michael Carter and Michael Carter II, the running back in the corner. Michael Carter and Michael Carter II, you know what I'm saying? This is just a really confusing team. I think there are more like that. It's just those are the ones that are coming off the top of my head. Pause. But also this is confusing because it mixes draft classes because Madden, you can't really change their years of experience for whatever fucking reason. Also, why did he get so many snaps? I don't know. I'm not going to question it. But yeah, so Breece Hall and Zach Wilson are in the same rookie class. Whatever, that's fine. And Defensive Rookie of the Year, unfortunately, no Jets. So yeah, here you see like Nick Bolton and fucking George Karlaftis mixed. That's cool. But yeah, overall, not a terrible first season. I wish Zach Wilson played a little better. That's the only concern I have of this rookie year, or this first year. Everything else was fine. Nothing amazing other than Carl Lawson, I would say, was great. Breece Hall. Our interior offensive line, our interior D-line was pretty good, and that's honestly about it. and our receivers were pretty good. But let us get into the offseason of this first year, what I have been waiting for. This is going to be pretty fun. Let's just get into the offseason. I am going to be hoping there's some big name free agents. I'll try not to get any players that wouldn't be free agents here, like if there's a Devontae Adams here or something like that. And honestly, that's pretty underwhelming. Okay, no, this is actually pretty good. I am going to re-sign Trent Brown. What was his contract? And I didn't mean re-sign, I meant sign. What is his contract? Okay, no, he signed a 2-year deal. I can't sign him. Or did he? Yeah, he did. I can't sign him. Unfortunate. I can sign Odell if I truly wanted to, but we really don't need any more receivers. We're honestly pretty fine at receiver. I could make the argument that, like, oh, hey, this team just cut this player in this fantasy land, but realistically, their contract just expired. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to cheese. I just need to fix my rosters after this so these players don't become free agents after year 1. I do kind of want to bring in Shy Tuttle. That's not the most exciting signing, but it is one. No, we have John Franklin Myers. Never mind, we don't need him. I think a move I am going to make is I'm going to sign Chris Barnes here. We do need a linebacker. I mean, CJ Mosley's down to a 74, and other than him, our next best linebacker is a 68 overall. A 68. That's not ideal. And I don't need a corner. Ashton Davis went up to superstar development. That's crazy. And I don't really need another safety. So yeah, I guess we'll just see if Chris Barnes signs, and then I'll go to the draft. That's kind of underwhelming. I'm assuming all the big name free agents are going to be there next year, though. But let's see if we got let's see if we got Chris Barnes. I guess I might look for a right tackle, but honestly, I'm not sure. Okay, Chris Barnes does accept. Let's check the team to see if there are any big cuts we could make. If there are any moves that would save us a ton of money. Not that we need it, but, you know, we could do it. George Fant, I could cut him, but he's a starter. Sheldon Rankins, I'm going to cut him. Nah, he played well last year. I'm honestly not going to cut anyone at all. We're just going to run this shit back, and we will go back in the next free agency. Let's get into the draft, though. All right, here in the 2023 NFL Draft, we have the number 5 overall pick. Now, the thing is, we're going to have 2 first-round picks, but we shouldn't have one of these. I'm going to send this back to Seattle because, I mean, this is technically the 2022 draft because Madden isn't advanced enough to, I guess, skip a year ahead without having to put a ton of extra effort into it. I can't really explain it for some reason, but yeah, basically we have a pick we shouldn't have. Oh, actually it's this pick, so we actually have the number 11 pick. So I'm going to give them their pick, and then we will take a look at some players here. Alright, here at number 11, I think what I'm going to look for is maybe either a linebacker or a good tackle. George Fant is getting older and isn't that good and played pretty poorly, so I think I definitely want a new tackle. So I'm going to take a look really quick, and hopefully I find a good player here. Alright, this is kind of a weak tackle class, but the best one I see here is Jeremiah Borden. He is slightly worse than one of the other players, but only slightly, and he is a year younger, so I'm going to go with him. He's 21 years old, 6'8", 323 pounds. He is pretty slow and only had about 30 reps on the bench for the combine in his pro day. He has B run block, B pass block power, so that tells me it's probably B and B overall, and A run block power, so the only bad stat I see here is C lead block, but that's a lead block. He's going to be a tackle, so let's take him. Alright, he does have hidden, only 85 strength, but hidden development, that's really all that matters here. He's going to start at right tackle for us this year. We're going to be cutting George Fant, unfortunately. I do like him as a Seahawks fan, but we're replacing him with a Washington State player, so, you know, I'm happy either way. Aaron Judge, that's a really interesting name, and holy shit, he is bad. F deep route, F ball carrier vision, F stamina. His best stat is a C catch and a C short route. That is one of the worst first-round players I've ever seen. I mean, he has a relatively quick combine, and he's big, so he's like a DK Metcalf without the talent, and slower, and not as big, and older. That's cool. I think the player I'm going to take here is Antonio Trapp. He ran a 4.59 at the combine and a 4.53 at his pro day. 27 reps on the bench either way, so he's pretty quick and pretty strong. I really love the A awareness. That's why I like this player so much. Awareness is one of the biggest, factors in overall, so I love this. I just love that stat. I love seeing an A awareness. So let's go ahead and take him. And of course, me, the draft god. He has hidden development. Oh, he's from LSU, that's cool, but 80 speed, 84th strength, that's pretty good. This guy's kind of a mini athletic freak. I wouldn't say freak, but definitely a very athletic player. Alright, for this next pick, I'm actually kind of not sure what I'm going to do. I might go with another linebacker, honestly. We just drafted one, and then we obviously signed Chris Barnes. But we still kind of need one more, and I don't really see what else we could pick here. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to look for one. Hopefully there's still a good one left. I'm really not sure, though. Actually, I think I lied. I think I'm going to be taking Deshaun Walls here. We kind of do have a need at safety. I mean, we don't have an amazing safety. We have Ashton Davis, who has superstar dev now, but he's already 25, and he's probably not even going to get over an 80 overall. And then we have Jordan Whitehead, who's probably also 25 and has normal, and he's a 79 overall, I think. So I think I'm going to take Deshaun Walls because he is only 21 years old. He ran a 4.46 at the combine, which was the best for strong safeties. And he has A hit power, B pursuit, and B zone coverage. That's pretty solid for what looks like a run support safety. He just kind of looks like a mix between a run. He looks like a well-rounded safety, basically. So let's take him. Deshaun Walls, he has hidden development. Let's go. 91 speed. No, that's about what I expected. 91 speed is good. So we'll have to wait until week 1 of the preseason to see what his overall actually is because Madden, but he looks good, and I'm happy with that pick. I like it. I think I'm going to take one more player, and then I'll just sim out the rest. Alright, admittedly, I can't really find any more good players, and it takes so long that I don't really feel like looking anymore, so I'm going to take Nazir Wharton. He's 6'5", 216, only 22 years old, ran a 4.44 at the combine, has B ball carrier vision, A break tackle, B release, looks like a running back or something, but, you know, he's the best I can find, so let's take him. Alright, normal development, that's kind of what I expected. This is more about what his overall is going to be, and honestly, if I can move him to running back, I might. A 6'5" running back is weird, but you know, it's Madden, and if he's good there, I might just do it. But I think that was the last pick of the draft. I'm just going to sim the rest out, and I will see you guys in the preseason. Alright, here we are in the preseason, and let's see what some of the overalls are. Yikes. Okay, these aren't as good as I thought they would be. I thought we picked some pretty good players, but apparently not. That's a lot of P's I just said. I could make like a push and P joke, but that's fucking dead. Anyways, Antonio Trapp is the best player we took. 89 Excel is kind of nice. This is like a couple days after I would have recorded when I picked him, so I don't really remember if I listed off any of his stats when I picked him, but he looks like a really good player. Already the 25th ranked left outside linebacker. That's pretty good. And then Jeremiah Borden obviously was our first pick. He's 6'8", that's kind of gross, from Washington State, of course. I was going to say he's like Abraham Lucas, but he's the opposite. He's good at run blocking, terrible at pass blocking. Okay, cool. But yeah, he looks like a pretty good player. We are going to probably either release or trade George Fant. Deshaun Walls, only a 71. I don't know what I'm going to do with him now. I think I'll just use him as like a sub linebacker like they did with the other safeties they moved down to linebacker for whatever reason. I might do something like that. Nazir Wharton, 69 overall, nice. So he's basically just a possession receiver. I thought the ball carrier vision and all those running stats would be a little better, but he doesn't look bad. He'll just be our like 5th receiver. And then it picked this Armin Royster guy. Armin, I don't know. Armin Hammer, whatever. Okay, he is a slow running back. I don't know what he does well. He's slow. He doesn't have a lot of power. I guess he's okay at receiving. Is this dude just a receiver? Playing running back? You know what? He's a 71 overall. I'll just keep him, whatever. And then, who are some other decent players? It picked Andrew Calhoun, normal dev, whatever. And Keon Gore, also normal dev. So, at least from what I see, I don't see any dev traits, unfortunately, but we did pick some ourselves with dev traits, obviously, but yeah, none of these players have any dev traits. They are some younger players and some decent ones that will definitely make the team, but unfortunately, no development traits for any of these guys. So, I'm going to look for a trade partner for George Fant, and if I can't find one, I will just catch you guys at the start of year number 2. Alright, so I'm just going to trade George Fant for a 6th round pick. This is a realistic rebuild, so I don't want to trade him for like a third or something because he wouldn't get that. I'll just trade him to the Raiders for a 6th round pick, and hopefully we can pick a good player with that. But yeah, that clears a lot of cap, and I think I'm just going to cut CJ Mosley because nobody wanted him. So now I will see you guys at the beginning of year number 2. Alright, here's a look at the team going into year number 2 of the rebuild. The offensive line is looking a lot better now that we got this Borden guy in here. Obviously Young has a dev trait, really high upside. Tight end is still a bit of a question, but Tyler Conklin isn't bad and we're pretty deep there. Receiver is good, but we're lacking that true number 1, but I think Garrett Wilson will be that by the end of the year. Running back, we're looking amazing there. We have Breece Hall, Michael Carter, and this Royster guy that we just drafted. I didn't draft him, but the CPU did. I just hit the bottom of my desk, sorry about that. Zach Wilson, obviously still questions about him, but I'm confident in this system he can work out with all these weapons around him and all this help. Looking at the defense, obviously we have this Walls guy. I'm starting him at sub linebacker. Hopefully he develops a little bit and becomes a starter. Linebacker, I decided not to cut CJ Mosley because it would have been more penalty than it was worth. And honestly, we're not tight for cap right now, so might as well just keep him. And obviously this Trap guy, he is pretty good. He's going to start for us at right outside linebacker. And obviously we signed Chris Barnes, so he's going to start at left outside linebacker. Corners are looking good. DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall. Pass rush is looking good. The whole D-line in general is looking great. I moved John Franklin Myers over to D-tackle where he goes up to an 84, which is really nice. And obviously the duo of Carl Lawson and Jermaine Johnson is a really, really good duo. So yeah, this team looks great. Here's a look at the specialists a little better if you care about that kind of stuff, but yeah, dude, overall this team looks amazing. I think I'm going to move Gardner up to the number 1 just so he develops a little more. So yeah, that's the team going into year number 2, and I guess I'll just see you guys at the mid-season point. Alright, that is unfortunate. At the mid-season point, we are only 1-6. I didn't mean to move the camera right like that. I don't. Alright, here at the mid-season point, we are unfortunately only 1-6. I honestly thought we were going to have a winning record at this point, something like 4-3, maybe 3-4. I kind of want to see what the problem is with this team. It looks like it might be Zach Wilson. Yeah, Zach Wilson just isn't very good. I don't know what to do about that. He's only 11 touchdowns halfway through the year, 5 picks. Like, that's not very good. 59% completion percentage. Breece Hall isn't doing great. I mean, just in general, this team isn't performing very well. Mekhi Becton is playing terribly. Carl Lawson's doing well again, but other than him, like, no pass rush, no picks. Oh yeah, I did sign Tyler Bass. He's doing really well. But yeah, this is just a disappointing team overall. I don't know what to do. I mean, there isn't really a whole lot for me to do here other than just hope and pray that we turn things around, and then we can reassess at the end of the year. But let's check out re-signings. Okay, Quinnen Williams. I'm gonna bring him back because that's not a bad deal. That's not that expensive, but he hasn't been that good. It's not like he's been some amazing player. I'm just bringing him back because, I mean, he's a high overall, not because of his play. I'm gonna bring back Bryce Huff just as a good depth piece for the final year of the rebuild. And Connor McGovern, how has he been playing? Can I not check it from here? I guess I can't. I mean, he's been okay. He's on track to let up 4 sacks this year, which is a lot for a center, so I'm not going to bring him back yet, but I might towards the end of the year. Not too many re-signings other than that, though. That's the beauty of having a bad team. You don't really have to pay anyone a ton of money, but I'm going to go to the end of the year, and hopefully by then we turn things around at least a little bit. I don't really care if we make the playoffs. I just don't want to completely flop, or maybe I do, so we have a high pick. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I just hope we're a little better than we are right here. Alright, and here we are at the end of year number 2, finishing only 14-3. Yikes. Let's check the stats out real quick. This is a very disappointing year. I really hope we can turn things around next year. Zach Wilson, 4,200 yards, 24 touchdowns, 17 picks. I really want to stick with Zach Wilson for the rebuild, but he is making it very hard. I almost want to look for a new QB, but I don't think I'm gonna. Breece Hall, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4.6 per carry, 0 fumbles. I mean, he was very good, but yeah, he's definitely not the problem. Michael Carter, 293 yards, only 3.5 per carry, but he stole all the touchdowns, 9 touchdowns. Up to an 80 overall, that's pretty good. Garrett Wilson had a good year, 1,100 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. I don't know if I really expected to. I don't know if I really expected him to get any touchdowns with how Zach Wilson played, but still. Elijah Moore with 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. Tyler Conklin with 803 touchdowns. Not 803 touchdowns, but 800 yards. But 800 yards and 3 touchdowns, you know what I mean. Corey Davis, 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. So the receiving game was good, but the passing game wasn't. That doesn't make any sense, but that's how it was. Mekhi Becton was absolutely terrible. Connor McGovern, get off my team right now. Goodbye. You are going. Absolutely not. Jeremiah Borden, though, he had a pretty disappointing rookie year, only star dev, let up 9 sacks. The guards were fine. That's like average sack numbers for guards. Elijah Vera Tucker was actually pretty good. But yeah, terrible play from specifically Becton and McGovern. Borden was a rookie, so he has an excuse. Looking at sacks, Carl Lawson had 9.5, Jermaine Johnson had 7.5, John Franklin Myers had 5.5. Quinnen Williams all the way down here with 1. Tackles for loss, John Franklin Myers had 22, Lawson had 21, Williams had 17, Jermaine Johnson had 13. Picks, a whole 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's what we had in the first year too. I really don't know what the problem is. It looks like the offense and defense are equally bad, at least in terms of turnovers. Let's check yearly awards. Let's see who the MVP was. Jonathan Taylor won MVP. Very interesting. I don't really think we're going to have any players here for, like, anything. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, no Jets. Defensive, maybe Lawson? Yeah, Carl Lawson snuck in at 10. Offensive Rookie, no Jets. Defensive Rookie, Walls all the way down at 8. I'm surprised we didn't see the first linebacker we took in here, but whatever. And let's check Best D-Line. Lawson came in at 8. What about Best Linebacker? No Jets. Best DB? No Jets. Okay. So yeah, overall, pretty disappointing year, but nothing we can really do about it, so let's just get into the offseason. Alright, I accidentally skipped the week, but it said the Packers beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Yeah, there it is, 34-28. The 9 and 8 Ravens were in the Super Bowl. That's interesting. But here we have re-signings. I don't honestly know if I'm going to be re-signing anyone. Okay, I'm going to re-sign Tyler Bass because I think he was pretty, really good, so we'll keep him for the rest of the rebuild. Number 19 is cursed, though. Other than that, though, I'll bring back Nate Herbig as, like, a backup guard. Just as a depth piece, but yeah, other than that, nothing else. So thankfully, our team still isn't expensive, so that means we are gonna go all out in free agency, and how unrealistic do I want to be? Because I could be. I'm looking right at somebody I kind of want. I would feel bad doing that, but I really, really want to. Alright, unfortunately there are no receivers here. I was gonna sign somebody to replace Corey Davis, but there's really nobody here. Same with tight ends. We have a need at tight end, but there's just nobody there. We do need a center now, because Connor McGovern was absolutely terrible. I might unfortunately have to address that in the draft, I guess, because there's really nobody here. Do we have someone who can play center? I think Elijah Vera Tucker played, like, tackle in college, I think. I'm going to sign Keith Ismail, and hopefully we don't have to start him, but just in case. Just as, like, an insurance policy, we'll have Keith. Is it Ismail or Ishmael? I don't know, one or the other. So he'll be our kind of insurance there, just in case shit happens. I'm going to bring in Denzel Ward, honestly. I don't remember if I did this in the last rebuild. I guess you should go watch that video and find out. Cough, cough. Watch my other videos. Click on the end screen after this video. Wink, wink, cough, cough. But yeah, we'll sign him to a 3-year deal. There's a plane going over right now. That's pretty cool. Oh, shit. Do you see what I see? Walls has Superstar X Factor. That's very interesting. I think I'm going to be trading Ashton Davis away. That's fun. I'm not going to sign a running back because Breece Hall has been great. This is the last year. I'm going to sign Mecole Hardman. I really don't care. So hopefully he signs. I really do want a good tight end, but there's really just nobody here. I'll bring in Harrison Bryant just because I can, and he's relatively young. And I'm going to try to sign Ben Powers. Does he have center experience? I don't think he does. He looks too big to be a center, but maybe he can be one. I don't know. Actually, let's bring in Mitch Morse. I want an actually good center. I want one that's guaranteed to be good. We're not going to develop a player to be a 78 overall by the end of the year, so let's just bring in Mitch Morse as kind of a one-year thing. Hopefully he doesn't let up 8 fucking sacks like Connor McGovern did last year. And finally, let's just sign Bobby Okereke. I don't care. Or apparently his name is like Okereke or something. Is that what I heard? I think I heard I think I heard someone say that that's actually how it's pronounced. I don't know if that's true, so don't take my word for that, but I think I heard someone say that that's actually how he says it. But I'm gonna bump up the Denzel Ward contract to about 20 per year, so hopefully he signs for sure. It's the last year, so money doesn't really matter. If I were smart, I would probably sign a player like Lamar. You know what? 17 total points, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. If that happens, if that goes through, then I will be happy, but kind of like that's really unrealistic. So let's just sim a week. Hopefully we get all those players, at least a few of them. Let's see what happens. All right, and we get Mecole Hardman, Mitch Morse, Harrison Bryant, Keith Ismail, Denzel Ward rejected us actually, and Bobby Okereke accepted. So we get almost all the players except Denzel Ward. So I'm about to do something. We didn't get one big player, so I'm going to go for a different one. Oh, we don't actually have enough money for that? It says we have 5 mil. Do we have enough now? Oh, it's the maximum. Why does it... Okay, if there is a maximum in Madden for whatever reason, why does it automatically put you at that? I don't get that, but we're going to try to sign Lamar Jackson. Hopefully he accepts it. If not, I think I might just go for Aaron Rodgers, so... If we don't get him, we'll go for another one. If we don't get Aaron Rodgers, we'll go Tom Brady. We're getting a new QB this year. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson, you've played like absolute shit, though. I'm sorry. So let's see who we get this week. Well, I guess there's really only one player we can get, and we do get Lamar Jackson. Call it unrealistic, but he was a free agent. We can say in this fantasy land that he wasn't very good last year with the Ravens or whatever story you want to make up. I was just sick of Zach Wilson. So I'm going to try to trade him away. This is kind of like a Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson situation, minus the, things Deshaun Watson has done. Should I do this? We stole Lamar. I'm going to give... This seems rude. I'm going to give him Zach Wilson. I don't know if we could get a first for him. I'm going to try a second because he is still young. No, I think we could milk a first for him. I'm going to steal a first from the Ravens. Oh, wait. This would put us over the cap? How? That saves us cap. I am confused. We can't consider this offer if it will put us over... It doesn't put us over the cap, though. That's the thing. It doesn't. Alright, well, is there a player I can add to make this trade a little more beefy? I guess I could do Corey Davis if they still need a receiver. They do. So this is going to be like a kind of Sam Darnold, Robbie Anderson kind of deal where the team is kind of ending up with both of the players, like the quarterback and the receiver. So for that, I'm going to actually try and get a second, too. Okay, cool. So for Zach Wilson and Corey Davis, 2 players that wouldn't have really had an impact for the team this year, we are getting a first and a second this year from the Baltimore Ravens. Call this whole thing unrealistic. I don't really care. Look what the Browns did this past year and are probably going to end up doing with Baker Mayfield. Like, I really don't think it's that unrealistic. I mean, look what the Jets did with Sam Darnold. They moved him after like a year or 2, whatever it was. Like, I really don't think it's that unrealistic that a team just gives up on their young quarterback and is like, fuck it. Like, look at Baker this last year. They gave up on him after he was hurt, playing with like a blown out shoulder. It just happens. Teams give up on quarterbacks, but we have 5th-year options. Let's see what this is. Mekhi Becton, no, he's been terrible. I'm not going to do that. He didn't barely see the field. He played. He was just bad. I hate the storylines in this game. They're never right. Like, how hard is it to program just checking their stats to see if they played? Like, he played probably almost every offensive snap. He was just terrible. Like, I don't get it. We have private workouts. I don't know what this does. We're just going to give that to the staff, whatever. And I will see you guys at the start of the draft for the 3rd and final season of the rebuild. All right, here in the 2024, I guess it would technically be NFL draft, we have the 2nd overall pick. I guess that makes sense considering we were, 4-13? I think that's what we were. Also, who is Steven Nash? I never know how to pronounce names like that. They could be Steven, Stefan, Stefan, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, we have the number 2 overall pick, and unfortunately there is no background. I would have liked to see who the Lions picked, but, EA. But who am I going to take with the number 2 overall pick? It says we really need left guard. I don't think we do. I don't think that's true. That kind of rhymes. I think I'm just going to look for the best player available. I don't know if I should take a linebacker with the number 2 pick, considering we literally just signed one. So I'm going to look through this and try to find a player. This guy looks pretty good, but I don't know if he's worth the number 2 pick. But we're going to try to find a player here, and hopefully we can finish out this team and hopefully make the playoffs this year. Honestly, I kind of feel like trading this pick down. There isn't really a lot here that I think is worth taking. So I'm going to trade this pick to the New York Giants. This is a hell of an under trade, but it is EA, so that's just how it be. I mean, trading the number 2 overall pick for only an extra 3rd and 6th. I wouldn't do this in real life, but there's just really nobody here I want, and a 3rd and a 6th isn't bad, I guess. So we'll see who the Giants take. They're going to probably take... Oh, they took Mark Jenkins, a guy I was kind of thinking about. And then who are the Atlanta Falcons going to take? They're going to take Ricky McKinnis. I don't know how you say that, but they took a QB. We really don't need a QB, obviously, so I'm fine with that. I might honestly take some offensive linemen here, but I really don't know what to go with for this draft. Alright, I'm going to trade down one more time with the Washington Commanders, I almost said football team, to pick up an extra 3rd and a 6th. Only trading down 2 spots, so I think it's worth it. All picks this year, and with that pick, I know who I'm going to go, finally. Alright, there have been so many trains going by my house this morning, so I'm having to fucking pause the recording so much. But here we are with the number 6 overall pick, and I am going to take... Was this the guy? Yeah, okay, it is George Simpson. 6'3", 313, he's a center, only 21 years old. 32 reps on the bench at the combine, which was 4th for centers. And look at these stats. A awareness, A run block finesse, A pass block finesse. Literally all A's. Has an F for injury, but guess what? We don't have injuries on, so we are going to take him here. Not even going to second guess it. Obviously hidden development. Well, it's not obvious. It could have been normal, but I mean, he's so good of a player that, like, I don't know how he couldn't have had it. Literally, I've never seen a player with all A's in important stats. That is crazy. Or maybe I have before in a recent rebuild, which you guys should go and watch. Cough, cough. At least I think it was the last one I did. I don't know. Anyways, he's probably going to be our starter this year. I don't know what we're going to do with Mitch Morse, but I don't really care. We're going to find something to do with him. This guy was just too good to pass up. So now I will see you guys with the later first-round pick we have. Alright, and with this later first-round pick, there honestly isn't much we really need. I mean, I guess linebacker is still kind of a need, but there weren't any good ones there, so I'm just going to go Taekwon Winters here. Only 21 years old from Central Michigan, B catching, unfortunately only D-man coverage, but B press, B zone. And the main reason I'm picking him is, well, he looks good, he's young, and he ran a 4.33 at the combine. Speed is a very important stat for corners in Madden and in real life, and honestly, he looks good in run defense too. So let's take him. He does have hidden dev, 94 speed. This dude is amazing. So honestly, I'm just going to sim out the rest of the draft and hope it picks good players because I don't feel like looking through this shit for players that probably won't even play. So now I will see you guys at the beginning of year number 3, the final year of the rebuild. Alright, here is a look at our draft, and we did pretty well. The center we took, even though he was a projected 1st to 2nd rounder, was actually the best player we took, and I kind of had that feeling. I mean, his stats were amazing. Let's see where it compares to the rest of the league. So he was the 8th best player, tied for the 8th best player. So that's pretty good to get at number 6. I mean, that's about good value. And depending on his dev trait, that can be amazing value. What team are we? I immediately went to the Seahawks. We are the Jets, yes. With the 31st overall pick, the pick that we got in return for, why am I blanking on his name? Zach Wilson. The pick that we got for Zach Wilson and Corey Davis. We got Taekwon Winters, who is 21 years old, obviously has hidden development. That 94 speed is amazing, 95 excel. He has good zone, but bad man. Okay press. He looks like a really solid player. I don't know if he's going to start, though, but he will at least be a good depth piece. And then Warren Whitaker. Again, I'm recording... Okay, I think I did take this guy. I'm recording this later in the day, after I recorded the first part, like right before this. Oh, I have it sorted by overall. Whatever, that's fine. But yeah, Warren Whitaker is a good player. Jadarius Davis. I don't think I took that guy. He has normal. Percy Gallery also has normal. So overall, it looks like I took the best players out of this draft class. I don't even know if a lot of these players are even going to make the team. But yeah, overall, this was a really good draft, and I will see you guys for the start of the 3rd and final year. Alright, we do have have trade offers for Ashton Davis. We really don't need him, but we really couldn't use these picks. I'm not going to be doing another year, so I think I'm just going to hold on to him. We also have offers for Mitch Morse, but again, we wouldn't even be able to use these picks if we got him. So no, I actually will trade Mitch Morse away because we do have a third string center who's solid, and I want the rookie we drafted to start. So we'll just pretend that we're doing this for the future of the team, even though there won't be a future of the team. We'll trade him to the Seahawks for a third and whatever. That was an overpay from them, but we're not going to be doing anything with it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, here's a look at the team going into the third and final year of the rebuild. The CPU did actually draft a couple players that have hidden development, like Brett Johnson right here. He's only 21 years old. He's not going to be playing though, obviously. And Earl Cartwright, who is wearing number 25 as a quarterback. That's cursed, but you know, he's a good player. And you might have noticed when I was going over to him, I saw Tom Brady just chilling in free agency wearing I need to change that. Wearing number 15. No, you're not going to do that. That's gross. Oh, just kidding, you might have to. Someone else has number 12. I don't feel like fixing that. But yeah, I just saw Tom Brady chilling in free agency, and I was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Or I guess in Tom Brady's case, kiss it. That was a fucked up joke. But yeah, I mean, Tom Brady has a lot of Super Bowls. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, so literally, why not? You know what I mean? But obviously, Lamar Jackson is our QB now. I kind of just glossed over the fact that we have Lamar Jackson as our QB. Like, that's... What? I'm sorry, you're not wearing number 22. I don't know if I can get your exact number, but I'm gonna give you a number in the single digits, at least. Jesus, dude. Okay, there we go, thank God. But yeah, overall, this team is looking amazing. Obviously, the Simpson guy we just drafted, and Laken Tomlinson has been mentoring Elijah Vera Tucker, so he's up to a 79. Mekhi Becton has been playing terribly, but his overall is good. Tight end is still a thing of need, a position of need, but we have a deep group there, and tight end is kind of like a meh position nowadays anyways, so it's fine. I want to start Walls. I don't want to start Ashton Davis. What's his name? I'm so bad at remembering Deshaun Walls. Okay, I'm bad at remembering drafted players' names. Antonio Trapp. Okay, I just need to get that down, but the linebackers overall are looking good. They all have dev traits. I did cut CJ Mosley, which saved us $17 million, and I just signed TJ Edwards because he was a better overall, younger, and about $15 million cheaper, so yeah. Unfortunately, Jermaine Johnson hasn't developed that much, but he's still playing up to a 78, so... Or not playing up to a 78, but at a 78, you know what I mean. So I think that's enough talking. This team kind of speaks for itself. We're up to an 83 overall. Let's see how we can do this year, and hopefully we can finally make the playoffs. We'll have to see. Alright, and here at the midseason point of year number 1, we are 4-2. I believe this is our best first half of the season yet. I can't remember what we went year 1 because I recorded it like almost a week ago, but I don't think it was this good. It might have been. Actually, yeah, it might have. I don't know. But let's see how the team is performing. I'll just go over the stats really quick. I'm just curious how players are doing. Lamar looks like he's doing pretty well. 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns. I would like that to be a bit higher, but only 4 interceptions and a 67% completion percentage is pretty good. It just doesn't seem like this is a passing offense. Because, I mean, Zach Wilson really sucked in this offense. Lamar Jackson isn't putting up crazy passing numbers, but I guess he doesn't normally anyways, except for his MVP season. And he's I thought they fixed it so running quarterbacks get good rushing stats, but I guess not. Maybe just not in this playbook, I don't know. But Breece Hall's doing well. Receivers, Garrett Wilson, on track for just 800 yards, but... Well, no, I guess we've only played 6 games, so... He should have about 1,100 by the end of the year. That's pretty good. O-line is playing absolutely out of their minds. Only 2 sacks all year. And sacks on defense. Jermaine Johnson is finally having a breakout year, it looks like, and... He has an upgrade point, let's use that, but he's up to a 79, playing really well this year. Carl Lawson having a bit of a down year. He's been amazing throughout this rebuild. And yeah, this team overall is looking really good. The offense actually looks like it's kind of meh, but the defense is playing really well, at least in terms of yards. But I guess all there really is to do now is sim it to the end of the year, and hopefully we make the playoffs. Alright, before I reveal the record, I just want to take a look at the team real quick. I'm sure you could guess that we did pretty well based on the morale, but these players they developed so much this year. Garrett Wilson went from like an 86 to playing up to, or I think he was like an 85 to playing up to a 92. Lamar is playing at a 99. Breece Hall is playing at an 89. Mekhi Becton at an 88. Unfortunately, the center only does have star, but that's still better than normal, obviously. Carl Lawson's playing up to an 88. Jermaine Johnson at an 80. Quinnen Williams at an 88. I forgot his name again. Jashawn Walls playing up to a 79. Jashawn is in your walls. This team is playing up to an 85 with morale. We have an 87 offense, 84 defense. So yeah, this team is playing absolutely amazing. But, like you would have guessed, we are in the playoffs up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are also 11-6, just like us. So before we do that, let's just go over the stats on the year. For the third and final year of the rebuild, Lamar Jackson, oh my god. 4,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, did end up with 14 picks, which is a little more than I would have liked, but not bad. 66% completion percentage. Lamar played close to his MVP season level, just without the rushing stats because EA. 1,333 yards, well that's weird, 311 carries, 1,333 yards, so 3,111, 333, that's interesting. With 4.3 yards per carry and 12 touchdowns, and I think he is still yet to fumble this entire rebuild. That is unheard of. I genuinely don't think I've ever seen that. Michael Carter, not many yards per carry, but 10 touchdowns. Elijah Moore with 1,266 yards and 10 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson. Oh wait, that's Elijah Moore. I was thinking that was Garrett Wilson. So, Moore played better than Garrett Wilson slightly. That's really interesting. But yeah, Garrett Wilson had 1,200 yards also with 11 touchdowns, so I guess Wilson kind of played better depending on what you value more, like 40 yards or a touchdown. I think a touchdown is better, but I don't know. Well, do I? I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Tyler Conklin with 900 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's funny, our tight ends don't really get many touchdowns on this team. Kind of weird. Mecole Hardman had 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. Pretty good year from a number 3. Our offensive line, Mekhi Becton and Jeremiah Borden were absolutely amazing. Same with Elijah Vera Tucker. 0 sacks for a guard. Are you kidding me? I mean, only 1 for a tackle, only 3 for a left tackle? That's insane. George Simpson and Laken Tomlinson weren't great. I mean, 4 is more than you would like from a center. You're shooting for like 2 or less with the center. And Laken Tomlinson, 7 isn't the worst, but for a guard, that's not great. Overall, the line was amazing though. And let's see, tackles, 119 total from Chris Barnes, 99 from DJ Reed. Tackles for loss, 18 for John Franklin Myers, 18 for Quinnen Williams, 15 for Lawson, 14 from Jermaine Johnson. And in terms of sacks, Carl Lawson did catch back up with 10.5. He's been amazing through this rebuild. I just want to go over his stats real quick. So in total in this rebuild, he has had 11.5 and 11 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, 21 tackles for loss, and 10.5 sacks, 15 tackles for loss. That's what, like 33 sacks? No, I think it's 31.5. Yeah, 31.5 sacks through this rebuild. That's really good. Jermaine Johnson with 8, obviously, 7.5 for John Franklin Myers, 7 for Quinnen Williams. So overall, the 4 starters played really well. This is the first year we've gotten consistency from all 4. Or I guess all 4 of them playing well. Still not many sacks, but it looks like more. It's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 more than the last 2 years. So the first 2 years, I believe we only got 8 in each year. This year we got 10. Okay. How did the free safety do? It looks like he didn't even get 1 pick. Jashawn Walls didn't get an interception. That's not great, but if this rebuild kept going, I'm sure he would turn into an absolutely amazing player. Unfortunately, I'm only doing 3 years, so. Hopefully we can take down the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Patriots only went 2-15, but the rest of the teams in our division went 11-6. That's interesting. But without further ado, let's see if we can take down the Jacksonville Jaguars. I would sure hope so, but I'm not confident in that. And we do. 35-14. We kind of beat the shit out of them, which is what I would hope we would do, considering we were 3 overall higher than them, but you never know, it's EA. We have a couple upgrades right here. Jermaine Johnson finally hits an actual 80, so he's probably playing up to an 81 now. That's good. You always love to hear that. But here we are taking on the Miami Dolphins. I almost said the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm really tired. Tyreek had 69 receptions. Nice. But he really didn't have that good of a year. You would think that a player like him would be getting at least 1,000 yards and at least like 80 catch, and way more touchdowns than that, but you know, EA. We do have the Dolphins, but only by 1 overall. We're an 85 to their 84. So I guess we're gonna have to hope to get lucky taking them down here because it is a home game for them, but I'm gonna sim this and hopefully we can take down the Miami Dolphins. And we do. Oh, actually, I think that might be bugged. Why does Russell Wilson... Okay, yeah, that's bugged. Tyreek didn't have only 800 yards. Okay, never mind, ignore me. Russell Wilson apparently had 69 receptions, 861 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. They moved him to receiver, apparently. But anyways, we are going to be taking on the Denver Broncos. I have an upgrade for Bryce Maynard or whatever. They went 13-4, but they're only an 80 overall to our 86 now. We went up an overall. So nothing we can really do here except sim it out and hope that we beat the Denver Broncos in the conference championship. And we do. We destroyed them 33-13. We do have a few upgrade points here. I think that'll bump a couple of those players, or at least one of them, up to an 80 with morale. So pretty good. And we're in the Pro Bowl right now. I thought we were in the Super Bowl. And in the Super Bowl, it looks like we are taking on the Carolina Panthers. Interesting. This is a really, really weird Super Bowl matchup. Like, if you could think of a potential Super Bowl matchup, I bet this is one of the last ones you would think of. Panthers and Jets. That's really, really odd, but we have an upgrade here apparently. Who is it going to be? Oh, a few of them? Okay, cool. Let's just do those. And I think Deshaun Walls hit an 80, so that's very nice. But here we are taking on the Carolina Panthers. I want to jump into this game, but I'm worried the recording won't be able to handle it, so I'm just going to sim it out. We do have a Super Bowl media day. I guess I'll run that. Why not? Every coach's dream is to hoist the Lombardi. I can't read enough right now. I'm just going to go through it. Everything, yeah. Why not? 10 staff points, cool, doesn't matter at all. So without further ado, we're going to be taking on and hopefully taking down the Carolina Panthers. Let's just sim it out. And we do beat the Carolina Panthers 31-10. This team has been on fire throughout the playoffs. I think we smoked every single team we played. Let's check that out really quick. Hold on, I want to go to the playoff picture. That's cooler. That's more epic. Okay, so let's see. We beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 35-14. So that's a 21-point difference. That's a blowout. We beat the Miami Dolphins by 18, which is almost a blowout, but not quite. We beat the Denver Broncos by 20, which is almost a blowout, but not quite. And then we beat the Carolina Panthers by 21, which is a blowout. So 2 almost blowouts and 2 blowouts get us a Super Bowl win. And the first Jets Super Bowl win in how long? This is New York's first Super Bowl win. This is New York's first Super Bowl win since 1969. Nice. Against the Baltimore Colts. I bet some of you didn't even know that the Colts used to be in Baltimore. And I think the Baltimore Colts became the Cleveland Browns. And then, I don't know, there's some weird story with that. Like, they deleted the Cleveland Browns and then changed Baltimore to Cleveland and then created the... I don't know, they did something weird with that. I don't know the full story. But either way, we got our first Super Bowl win in, I guess it would be, I don't know, since 1969 to 2024 in this world. So it's a long time. But that's a really good way to end off this video. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like and drop a sub. Both of those help me out. I'm trying to hit 40 subs on this video. No, let's make it 45. I want to hit 45 on this video. So if you haven't done that already, be sure to do so. And let's see if we can just hit like 10 likes. I haven't been hitting 20, so I'm just going to drop it down to 10. So be sure to do that if you have not. And comment down below what team you want me to rebuild next. We getting ready for the upcoming season in a few months. Still a few months away, but thank you all for watching. I appreciate it very much. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.